tweak our presentation a little bit. So just by like a show of hands, I'd be interested to know who works in 3D. Hey. You can shout if you want to. Not necessary. Yeah. What about put your hands up if you're a producer. One. Two. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Or if you work in illustration or a creative field. Okay.
Okay.
And raise your hand if you think you're a creative person.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good amount.
That's interesting. Who didn't raise their hand?
Who didn't raise the hand?
Yeah.
Okay, one.
Okay.
We have one.
Okay.
So I guess this talk is for you.
This is all for you. Everyone else can fuck off, basically. This is all for you. So actually, it's an interesting question. What is creativity? Do you want me to talk in here? Yeah? Is that better? Okay. It's actually a really interesting question. How do you define creativity? I think we normally equate creativity to the arts, right? That's our initial impulse. But actually, it leaves out a huge range of people who are creative. Here's another definition. A creative person has the ability to invent and develop original ideas. Right? So, that's better. It allows people in the sciences and maths and teaching or whatever to be a creative person. But actually, I think it doesn't quite go far enough, because actually it leaves a huge demographic. And to demonstrate this, we conducted an interview. We commissioned an interview with one of the most creative people on the planet right now, and this is how it went.
When do you feel the most creative? Fascinating answer.
Give it to me.
When are you most creative?
Okay. I think you get my point. Right, children. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find anyone to disagree with you when you say children are incredibly creative, but they're not necessarily innovators, right? But they use creativity to learn about the world around them. Even before they're able to verbalize how they feel, we learn and communicate through our craft, right? The sky is blue, the grass is green. Even our interaction with one another, and ultimately our understanding with of us and our place within the world, is learnt through creativity. Go for it.
Yeah. So every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up, and this is a huge problem because I feel like life molds us into routines and like life expectations and all these pressures, and we can go back to that childhood and be like, oh, I'll do this, and then you always think like, oh, they're gonna think something about me, they're gonna judge me. So that's a bad thing, really bad thing. But what if I tell you that we can go back to that childlike spark and think and go crazy and still do still have that behavior in adult life. So yeah, I'm Yas, and I work at Future Deluxe.
And I'm Felix. I also work at Future Deluxe. No surprise. And we make work like this.
Taking no risks, I ain't pinching.
exhausting just like watching it. Just like all that work. Oh gosh. And it's too long, I think. But anyway, it's perfect. You think it's perfect? So clearly, some of us have never left the sandbox. You know, we're still communicating through our craft, and I think a lot of you can relate to that. So I think the plan today is to talk around creativity, but also kind of give you real-world examples of practical applications of where to use play. And yeah, that's the plan. Does that sound okay? Yeah, we got three projects to go through. So yeah, let's do that. So okay, let's start at the beginning, right? Let's try and be creative, because remember, creativity is defined by our ability to innovate and create something original. So we'll do a live demo now.
Okay.
let's think
Let's
of
try.
let's
All together. Let's try.
So okay, so blank page, right? Okay, so we want to make something that has like ideally
1,000 Instagram
1,000 Instagram
likes
likes, exactly. Something cool.
that no one did before.
No one's done before, exactly. Okay. So I think we can, like, my ability as a creative, I should be able to do this.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
embedded.
it's
you know?
embedded. As a
Embedded,
creative.
As a creative, you should know how to
Yeah.
create something instantly.
Right. So it's interesting, isn't it? A blank page kind of encapsulates this idea of being perfect right away. You know, and this pressure can be stifling. Essentially, it's this like fear of failure. I guess maybe it's just me, but I'm terrified of a blank page.
I actually remember when I see this blank page when I was a kid, immediately my instinct was like, draw something and do like doodles and do something creative on it. But now when I see it, it's like terrifying. It's like I open C4D, there's nothing in there, create something. I don't know.
But it has to be cool.
It has
You
to
have
be
to make
cool.
something
Yeah,
cool,
all these voices inside my head.
Right, so it's interesting. So I'm just going to read this out. So this is from a creative behavior research, and it says individuals who recall negative feedback on their creative work in childhood are more likely to experience creative blocks and fear of judgment in adulthood. It's interesting, isn't it, that I think we can all think back to a point in our life where this happens, even very small, like, you know, you don't draw an apple like this, you draw it like this. I call it coloring inside the lines, you know. And in our educational system, we have this thing of correctness, you know. And Sir Ken Robinson, a personal hero of mine, he said this: as children, we learn to prioritize correctness over creative exploration, right? So it starts in like a key moment in our cognitive development. We're being taught to be correct over being creative. So it's really interesting, and like, how do we undo this damage that's being done? So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, do you want to take this bit? Yeah, go for it.
So the only way to go is just shed this armor that we all have, our ego and all these pressures and the thinking that thought that I think it was you that you had, that you're not a creative. Just get rid of that idea. Get rid of it, because
It's like
we all,
narcissism.
yeah, exactly. We all can be creative, and we are here to demonstrate it. Like, we are here to show you the ways that we do how to be creative and a lot of like our future plays and.
Yeah, exactly. And so I remember when I was, I wanted to be an artist growing up. I still do, still trying every day. And my first, a huge mentor to me was my life drawing instructor. And first day of life drawing, we were all sitting there like this, sketching away, like actually a bit embarrassed about what we're drawing. Oh my God, there's a naked person in the room and we're drawing them. This is really weird. And so my instructor came in with a bin in the middle of the classroom, and he said, everything you're going to do in the next 2 weeks is going in here, and we're going to burn it. And it was actually very interesting, because instantly we had no fear of failure, because we knew nothing. We were leaving this room empty-handed, so we may as well just go for it. And it essentially is very clever, because he removed our fear of failure. I just always remember that. It's just stuck with me. So let's go forward.
Yeah, embrace the failure.
Embrace failure, yeah, with open hearts,
With open hearts, be a child, and just be crazy, play around. Nothing is gonna happen. Like if you don't follow your instinct and discover like your own voice, like you will never know what's the new and what can you create and what's your capabilities and your possibilities. So
I grew up with this book. Does anyone recognize this? 101 Unuseless Japanese Inventions. Does anyone remember? Yeah, a few nods. We had this book in the house, and I had no idea the impact it was going to have on my life. Chindogu it translates as useless tool, roughly. And so it's filled with things like this. Mops for the cat's feet. I think the tagline for this, make washing a walk in the park. I'll read this one. A hydrophobe's bath bodysuit. Take a bath without getting wet. And I love her face. Oh, God. Vertigo soothing glasses. Keep solid ground in sight. I love how scared she is as well, with the grains of sand near her eye. I love it. But what's cool about this is that it feels like someone's inner child's coming forward. And it's a joy to behold, you know. And I remember sitting there distinctly thinking, why isn't this a thing? Like, why is this, laughed at? But actually, there's some amazing innovations. This is 40 years old before smartphones. And, they were coming out with selfie sticks. So it kind of goes some way to prove our point is like, creativity actually is very, very powerful. And free creativity, So let's change the perspective. Let's, when we start with something new, let's change the idea of every idea has to be great. Let's change that to every idea has the potential to be great. So we have a thing we call Future Play. Yeah, I'm going to hand over to you. Do you want to
Yeah, so Future Play is basically our playground. So we have 2 days a month to do whatever we want. Discover a new tool, learn a new tool, try to find our voice, and we actually like play around and basically be a child. So we do whatever we want. It is cool because it's time aside of every pressure. It's like there's no deadline, there's no client asking you to deliver the next day. There's nothing. It's like it's only you and your whatever you want to do and whatever you want to spend your time with. You can even there's you can see we go crazy. We just don't think about any judgment and we just go for it.
This equates to the mops on the cat's feet.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. So yeah, there's so many explorations that show how crazy we can get. it's kind of scary, but I love it. And so the actual thing is like we are trying to learn, improve ourselves. So fail fast because you will learn fast. Like the more you try and the more you think like, okay, this is not working or I don't know how to do this, and you fail, but then you're learning something. So it's gonna be like something that is gonna be useful for you in the future. So. Yeah, it's and then there's more coming. Like there's more crazy stuff. But yeah, I think everyone got the idea. Like inside of it, everyone got the idea. It's like go crazy, do whatever you want. And I remember like my first Future Play was like I don't know. Like I was with that Harmor. Like I don't know if like they're gonna say like oh this is too crazy. No, it's just like your teacher that put your pin. Is it the same thing as the Slack channel that we have?
I just want to tell you. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's scary.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to rattle through these. Should we go through these? There's quite a lot in here.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting because we go a bit wild, but also this is people's personal projects. This is their artistry. So, I look at this and this is someone's expression creatively. So it's not always wild. It's actually quite interesting because when you remove the edges of the sandbox, it's amazing to see people go incredibly specific sometimes. And so, you say you can do whatever you want. It's like, I just want to like do embroidery, and you're like, okay, go for it, enjoy. I just love architecture, let's go for it. So it's interesting, some people go, what, go crazy, and some people go very, very niche and specific.
But I think as a creative, like, we need to explore that side of ourselves, because if not, there's, like, if we don't explore that side, we're just tools and machines, like pressing buttons and doing and delivering what the client wants or what whoever wants it. So it's like, it's finding our time to just discover and explore our creativity. So I think it's essential to have that time, and I'm really happy to have it. Yeah.
I'm using this as a relaxing time, soothing. This is one of yours, right?
Yeah, this was, I was gonna say, this was actually my...
Talk about it, it's funny.
It was actually my first future play, and it looks too correct. It looks too nice. Like, I mean, too, like, there's nothing wrong in here. There's nothing, like, craziness. I was just like, I can't, like, my armor was on. Like, I couldn't see myself, like, doing crazy stuff at that time. And this was, like, almost 3 years ago. Now my future plays look very different. I'm one of them.
Yeah, it takes a while to get used to, right? It's interesting. You think as creators you would naturally be able to do it, but as you say, it's like shedding the armor, right? All right, let's rattle through these. Some of the stuff we do is like not on the computer. So this is like 3D printed ceramics. A lot of us in product design, so like printing stuff inspired by ceramics. Let's go through it. Let's go. Some are inspired by landscapes. Oh, so good. Oh. Great. Okay, so I think you're getting the point. Future play, we go crazy, but we love it. And I think it's yeah. Do you want to talk about playtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
So another example of using the time of future play is learning a new tool. And for me, learning a new tool can be actually really frustrating and terrifying. I don't find it like as a playful thing. I find it like, oh, I'm studying. So when we come up with this idea, it was like, why don't we learn a new tool, team up with a friend, and both of us will learn a new tool and try to make something new. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something. So I'm obsessed with landscapes. I'm obsessed with landscapes, and I needed to level up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try Unreal Engine. And so Tom, he's a badass at Unreal. So I was like, okay, I'll team up with Tom, and he will show me everything. I won't do anything. He will just put all the information in my head, and I will do it. And so we team up, and then he was like, okay, I'm gonna try to learn a new tool with AI and try to find a way that I can bring these little doodles to life, and then make a character of it, and then combine his character and my landscape and make like a little short film together. So it was like our goal. It was that motivation. Like that motivation was really cool to learn, because for me it was like, okay, if he's learning that, then I need to keep up with it. And so that's how Bernie came alive. Well, a lot of Bernies. Yeah, and then we chose one Bernie, and then I started building the world in Unreal. And for me, like, I'm very aesthetically driven, so I was watching like tutorials that less than 10 minutes, and I remember watching tutorials of like how the ultimate cinematic render in Unreal before I knew how to pan or to move into the software, or before I knew how to import a geo into Unreal. I was just like, how can I make this look like super cinematic? Yeah, and but it works for me. It's the process is so upside down, but it works for me.
You start at the end.
I started at the end.
You learn how to actually navigate.
Yeah, I want this. So yeah, like everyone have their own pace and their own process. So once I was like learning everything, and I got like something that I was like, oh, okay, this looks cool. I jump into do the Bernie's world, and then we came up with this little short film we are really proud of.
so I think just to summarize that section, future play, I think it's all very good and well to say how great it is, but actually we live in the real world, and we need to pay bills, we have clients and things. So actually, I think we need to be realistic around this. So we have one day a month really for artists, sometimes two, but actually it's a very proactive way to feed your future of your studio, because actually your team and the creative team become very creatively agile. You have an arsenal of techniques that you can start to use in pitching, so you get very, 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 very good at being creative. So it's kind of giving back in a way, which is quite good, and you have a happy team. So it's definitely worthwhile to do if you do run a studio, to look into. So great, cool, good job. Okay, so as we say, we've got some real world applications. That's more like focused on client-facing work. We actually decided to go for 3 shoe commercials, right?
Because we do a lot of
oh my
shoes.
god, 2024 is just like nothing but shoes for us. It's just like, please. So that's the plan. We're going to go through that and kind of show you where we use play in our process. Here we go. So Adidas Supernova. Super fun one, and both me and Yaz are really proud of it, because we led it. So I think we can talk quite frankly and honestly about the process and what we did to create it. So actually, when you get stuff from the client, the initial brief, it can often look like this, right? And you have all this information, the brand guidelines to consider. Okay, all right. Okay, so pitch feedback as well. Okay, right. Okay. No problem. All right, so, okay, we're trying to, solve a problem. It's okay. So you get overloaded with data, right? And how on earth are you meant to, solve a problem if you have no idea what the question is, or even how you're meant to, absorb all this data? So what we try and do is try and simplify things at the very beginning, right? And so things should be made as simple as possible, but not any simpler. Crucially, not any simpler, right? Because you can go too far. You need just the right level. That was Albert Einstein said that. So we normally start with a question. And for Adidas, they came to us with all this stuff, and we said, actually, we think this is actually the brief. we showed them this, how to make a digital image feel human. And they're like, yeah, you're right. That is kind of what we're trying to do. I think maybe clients are trying to hide behind the guidelines, but actually you need to push through and show them what actually you're trying to solve. This worked in our favor. I think we kind of managed to hit the nail on the head with this one. They're really happy with this. So we got the question. It kind of sets the stage for play. Now we know what we're trying to solve, and so now we can start to do R&D and start to play. So our response for how to make a digital image feel human was to actually step away from the computer and start to use analog techniques. So we're doing medium format photography. We're starting to bring analog techniques into it, scanning the shoe, all sorts of stuff, to try and inject it with some human. Oh, so sorry. Okay, how much have you not heard? 20 minutes. Oh, I'm really sorry. Okay, it wasn't rubbish anyway. So, can you guys hear me at the back? No. Okay, okay, right. No worries. How much shall I go backwards? Yeah? Okay. I'm really sorry. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Adidas Supernova. So our plan was to build this very analog feel to everything. And we're trying to do it in a way that's we're not telling people this is filmic and warm. We're showing them through the visuals, right? So let's go through our process. Okay, so we got a spark of an idea. Let's take it through to the finished product. So often it can start with a sketch away from the machine. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so now it's our duty basically to try and bring this idea to life, right? But we can't spend 3 or 4 days bringing it alive because it might just fail completely. It might be completely the wrong thing. So, we're often like, not accused, but we're often like, people think we use the most advanced technology. It's like, no, we just use very basic techniques, right, to like communicate our idea. So, this is the incubation period for the idea. And so let's try and like bring it to life. So you can see we're communicating comfort through like nice round shapes. We're starting to like use visual metaphors to try and answer the brief. And so you can see here, just like really quickly mocking things up. Even on the shoe, like we didn't simulate this. We just used like FFD cage around it and just like warped it a little bit to give it some like squishiness. And so I think effortless 3D is like really crucial to ideation, and it's something that we do. It's like you say, if you're having to learn a technique, it kind of hampers your technologies, your sort of creation, right?
I always, like, I think in my case, I always jump into my comfort zone to sketch something. So that's why this is like, it's a great example, because it's like, if it's not working, it's not working, then move on. Get that idea out of your head and do something else. Yeah. So,
so, it might turn out to something like this. So we've basically successfully taken the crappy sketch and like turned it into something that, people might understand. And so in a way, the feedback loop, we're kind of halfway there. We'll share this with the client and we'll see if it solves the question. And so this is it fully rendered, and you can see like, we're using warm lighting, we're using these round shapes to like communicate comfort of the shoe, this squishy shape. So this is how it came out. Great, okay. Oh, okay. Do you want to add one more?
I'm just going to add that I'm really proud of this project, because like, I think it was the first time we weren't focusing on like comfort as a bouncy thing, or like, oh, let's inflate stuff to make it like look soft. It was more like connecting with that emotion and being like, okay, what makes you feel comfort in life? So it was like trying to connect with that emotion and try to put it in. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but it was different and very refreshing. So really proud of this project.
So let's just summarize this project. So we imagine something, and through play, we create. Right, that's one part of the process. And so we've created, but it doesn't live in isolation. We need to like make it practical and make it work. So we share internally, and we share with the client, and we test it, and then we'll come up with issues that we need to solve. So it goes through solve, imagine, play, and so this is kind of a demonstration of where play sits within our process. It's not all play and fun and games. It's like very practical. Great. Hopefully that made sense. Okay. Arc'teryx, go for it. Oh, such a good one.
Yeah. So Arc'teryx, I think it's the perfect example of a future play, but with a deadline. So it was like future playing, but with that pressure of the client saying like, okay, we want this word of like, we want to show the engineering of the shoe, but in this natural word, we want to show like a word that is you can relate with, but also there's like a kind of like digital or twist on it. So we basically break all the rules of 3D and of everything, because we were like, okay, how? So we were just future playing, and then it was just like using viewport renders and mixing it with actual renders, and then overexposing layers. We were just playing with a bunch of stuff, because we had like, they gave us that freedom, and not always happened this, so it was our time to actually like, get paid for future play. We had like it was actually like, if I think about it, the opposite of Supernova, like Adidas Supernova. It was just like totally different concept and super fun to explore.
Right, because it's so digital.
It's so digital, and the other one was like, no, step away from that. And this was like, we want to feel relatable, like we want the people to feel relatable with it, but also that, engineering digital twist. I love this exploration because it's like, it feels... Please applause for Ziad. Okay. So I love it because it's like, then it feels natural, but then you feel like all these little dots are like super technical, and it's just. So here, like, I'm just gonna put like a video of like every exploration that we did. But yeah, really fun project and really inspiring, and a perfect example of like a client came up to us and say like, we need this. Yeah. What can you do? So we were just like, okay, this is the time now. Like, let's do it. So this is it.
Okay, last example, G-Fore. So, sometimes nobody knows what they're doing or what they want, and that's okay. And this is a good example of that. So the client came to us and they said, we've got a new shoe, we've got a new store, it's opening in Manhattan, let's put the shoe in Manhattan. That's a great idea. That's obviously, and we're like, okay, this is obviously someone's first idea, and that's it. So we actually, they're an amazing client, because we were like, if you give us like 3 days, we might be able to like ideate, and go wide with it. So I had whiffs of Godzilla about it, so I was like, let's try and change this. So we do a thing, divergent thinking. We're like very much offering suggestions, like, oh, let's try this. Do you want a bit of this? What about this? And so those 2 or 3 days were good fun. But actually, through our tests, we started to come across stuff like this. So not for everyone. They were like, actually, that's kind of our tagline. Let's kind of riff off that. Let's try and be a little bit disruptive, although everyone uses the word disruptive, but let's go for it. And so we started to kind of push the boat out and kind of see where we could take it. So started making things like this. And this. The client actually, it's very rare that you have the ability to absolutely destroy the product you're trying to sell. It's very unusual, but we pushed it so far that they loved it. Some of my favorites. Great. So in a way, we went wide. We found a thing. We did a test. They're like, let's go for that, and we converged the idea back down. So wide and then small again. And so rendered, it started to look like this. I love this one. Oh, so cute. And it came out like this. Okay, so we've gone through 3 projects, and I think, do you feel more creative as a person, maybe? A little bit more. Perfect, we've done our job. And so I think, we all have this untapped ability, this untapped creative source. I think just shedding a little bit of ego, being a little less serious, I think you might be surprised with the stuff you come up with. So, yeah, you're a creative person, yes? Okay, still no on it. So, and just like basically release your inner child, you know, go out there, be free. Color outside the lines, that's great. So yeah, and just before we end, the book's a bit of resource. Definitely recommend. These changed my career basically, so worth taking a photo of these. Yeah. Great, and what about this one? Yes. Definitely. It's changed my life, I'm not joking. Cool, okay. This is me. This is what I'm on externally. This is me internal, my brain. And this is Yaz. And Trufa. Yeah, so come say hi, we're friendly. And we got some merch as well to give out as well. So yeah, let's go. Hopefully there are questions. Yeah, maybe, let's see. Yeah, alright, thank you so much.
Keep giving it up. We're not done yet. Right, so apologies if you're at the back. I appreciate you were contending with the noise from upstairs. I stood back there myself. Apologies for the sound. But I'm going to check the Q&A thread. And if there is only one question, there's only one sticker being given out.
We're giving out these books here for the best question. Yes.
Well, you might only have one to give out at this point. We'll see. Yeah, I've only got one. You've not been slacking, so I mean,
go for it.
Quick time. But Nasib has very quickly asked, how does one justify the time and cost of R&D to a client when you're a freelancer or a small studio?
Yeah, really, really great question, powerful one. Oh gosh. So I can tell you our experience and what we do, and we build it into our process. So when we are talking to potential partners or clients, we don't hide it behind. We say we allow this little extra few days. It won't cost you very much, but what you'll get is this, and we'll show them the stuff that you get out of Future Play. And so, you know, it's nothing shady about it. It's really like selling people into the idea of what Future Play can unlock for business. That G-Fore one's a great example of that. You say, okay, this could have gone one way, but actually, you know, it's gone another. I'm not sure that answers the question, but that's our experience. Yeah? All right. Yeah. I'm not sure. Do you want to expand on that? Not really.
There might be clients that when they see it, they will agree on that, you know, like, and there'll be tough clients that not. But I think when you kind of like read them and see that, oh, they might, because they don't know what they want. And they are like kind of loose. And then when you see the deck and they're like, oh, but we want a lot of stuff. But then I think it's the time to just show, okay, but maybe if we show this deck like, oh, this is our Future Play, we can actually do this. Yeah, I think it's reading a little bit the client first, and because normally I don't think they know what they want. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that answered your question. Good, okay, he's happy. Everyone else should be. I've got another one from Ramon, which is nice and simple. How do you deal with creative block?
Creative block, I think it's a bigger issue, right? Creative block, you're probably being very creative for 2 months non-stop, or, you know, a year, you're just creating. And actually it's a symptom of over-creating, and actually sometimes you just need to step back. Easier said than done, but actually, boundaries, going for a walk, reading a book, I don't know. That's a lame answer. But honestly, I think it's not the creative block that's the issue. I think it's you're pushing yourself too hard. Yeah? I don't know.
I was struggling with the creativity block like maybe a month ago, and I think for me it was my creative block. It was coming from all this pressure of being in the industry, like being like the best of it, or being like using the latest tool and stuff like that. And I think it all comes from there. And if you think like something that you really want to explore, like for me, for example, I just became obsessed with a band, like a music band. So I was like, what if I do something different but with music, or like stepping away from where I'm used to do, like, like the blank canvas again, the G-Fore. I wanted to do something different. So I stepped away, I did something different. music related. And again, I feel again on path, you know. But still, it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone, but for me, it worked. Yeah.
I mean, talking about music seems to lead us quite well into our next question. So this is from Andre. Wherever you are, put your hand up so I can find you afterwards. Fantastic, excellent. So he's asked, sound design plays a big part in your works. How do you collaborate with sound guys, and at which point of at which part of the production do they join in?
Yeah. It's an easy one to answer. We get them in as early as possible, right? You know, music actually. I'm an animation background, so I think we understand that music actually is a driving force for our creativity. It gives what we make energy, you know. It kind of gives it life, and so we always try and get partners in at the very beginning of a project. Yeah, is that? Can you read the question again? Yeah, is that answer?
Yeah. So it was. Can you find it? At what part of the production do they join in, and how do you collaborate with them?
How do we collaborate? I think it's quite open. It's interesting. I always found it hard to verbalize, because I'm not from a music world, so I find it really hard. I don't know about you guys, but I find it hard to verbalize the same way I can verbalize visually my creativity. So it's interesting. We have very frank discussions, but you know, we slowly learn how to like work with people, and every partner's individual. But yeah, it's an ongoing journey. We're trying to get better at how you work with sound. Yeah. Cool. Exactly. Thumbs up.
Oh, I've got one person typing. Tom, wherever you are, you better do it quick. I'm looking. I'm waiting. Otherwise, no, it's all right. Let's see what the question is. You know. Otherwise, you know, the QR code's still up there, so there's still a couple more stickers to hand out. Tom asks, where do you see the motion design industry going in the next 5 years? Oh, collective groan from the room. No, it's fine. It's a good question. Leave him alone.
Okay, yeah. We're going to be homeless, and yeah, get another career. Right, AI? I don't know. I don't want to talk about AI, but maybe after this. We're trying to be optimistic and trying to use it in our process. It's very scary going into it. We're trying to learn how to use it ethically and how to use it correctly, right? But it's changing so fast, you know, how to use AI. But yeah, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, I don't know what the collective feel for AI is in the room, but I'm sure we can all discuss that over some drinks shortly. Oh, I got a little boo from down Nick in the corner. I mean, that pretty much wraps up the questions. So at this point, I think one more massive round of applause for these two, clearly. It's Future Deluxe, baby. That's a good round of applause there. Now, if you haven't found me until, like, you know, if you got here late, etc., please find me. I will check you in. Make sure that we've got the numbers logged. A little reminder for you that the next event is the 19th of June, and we might do a social again, which would be nice, so you can all just mingle and like hang out, etc. Obviously, thank all of you for attending. It's probably worth just bang your hands together one more time for yourselves. Just a big round of applause. This is never possible without you. Never. Right? Thank you all for turning up. And Adam at Cavalry, presumably that little wave means the tab? No? What does that mean? Okay, so Adam is very kindly from Cavalry. There's a tab behind the bar. So one drink, all of you. Any more than that, I'll be after you myself. When you go to the bar, please make Izzy's life easy. Take your empty glasses back. Do not leave them like hanging around, etc. We do not want this lovely little, look at this little pooch here, right? We do not want her tripping over her glass. And obviously just stick around, have a drink. We've actually like got through it a lot quicker than we usually do. So, you know, meet each other, greet each other, hug, love, whatever, right? But just have a good time. And just one more time, mostly for me, big up London Motion, please. Hey! Excellent. I love all of you. You're all beautiful. Oh, you want a book? It's up to them to give it out, not me. You have to talk to them and find out if they like you. They might think you're a dickhead.